Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Unstoppable Living. First video of the year, and I've decided that we should do a new editions and rehousing video. So thanks to the help of the bearded tarantula keeper, my friend Andre, we managed to rehouse five of my new editions. So I hope you enjoy it, guys. So these 5 enclosures were designed by myself, and the physical work was done by my daughter Michaela's boyfriend Shannon. And as you can see, I think he did a fantastic job. They're absolutely gorgeous. So this is my mature female Poecilotheria fasciata. It was a gift from a very good friend of mine called Mornay. As soon as Andre gets her out from behind the web and the leaf curtain that she's made for herself, you can actually see she's actually quite large. Probably the biggest Poecilotheria tarantula that I have at the moment. Andre, while rehousing her, even commented that she's probably the heaviest one that he's rehoused before. As you can see, she's done a fantastic job in webbing herself a nice little hide, and there she is slowly coming out. And as you can see, she is an arboreal species, and like all the Poecilotheria tarantulas, they are all arboreal. And what Andre is trying to do is he's trying to use her natural instinct of climbing for safety to get her up into the catch cup, so that we can obviously transfer her to the new enclosure. He's almost got her in there. And up she goes. It was a lot easier than what we anticipated. Her feeding response was quite aggressive when we tried to poke her out before we started recording. So I'm very happy that there weren't any complications or trying to bite the poking stick or threat poses. Andre is going to tilt the bottle so we can get a nice close-up of her. Unfortunately, the camera didn't want to focus exactly on her, but as you can see, she's beautiful, nice and plump bottom. And now what Andre is going to do is he's going to detach the catch cup from the safety cardboard that we use to cover any exits apart from the catch cup. What he's going to do is he's going to place the opening towards the back of the enclosure, so that if she does try to bolt out, that she won't bolt out the front of the enclosure. She will most likely go up to the top of the enclosure. So what Andre is going to do now is he's going to use the poking stick to try and coax her down to the bottom of the catch cup and out into the enclosure. Andre's shaking a little bit because she is rather intimidating. She is rather large, and he said that it is the largest Poecilotheria tarantula that he's rehoused before. So you can imagine the intimidation of such a large beauty bolting out or trying to strike, or even bolting out of the enclosure and up onto him, which is definitely not something that we wanted. And there you go, successfully out. Look at that, she's an absolute beauty. Look at that nice plump bottom, she's beautiful. Okay, this is a gift from a very good friend of mine called Dale. It is the Poecilotheria striata, also a mature female. Very chilled for a Popliteria tarantula. As you'll see, she never really gave us any hassles getting into the cage cup. But because Dale gave it to me, I've decided that I'm going to name her after him, since Dale is a unisex name, and I think it's quite fitting actually. See, rather quickly up into the catch cup, and I'm just going to slide in the safety board, and done. That was really easy, because she was already out from behind her hide, so that obviously makes things a lot easier. And obviously he's going to take off both safety cardboard pieces to do exactly what we did with the first one. Into the back of the enclosure, and as you can see, everything is going smoothly. And now Andre is going to coax it out. Because I said that she was being rather calm, Murphy's Law, you'll see she starts to get a little bit irritated with the poking and prodding, which is understandable, but it's the only safe way for us to get her out. And she goes back up to the top of the catch cup. So we try to use a different poking stick, and this is where the threat posture starts to come out. Starts to lift her body off the floor, make herself look bigger. And as you'll see, the threat posture starts to come in now. And there we go, there's the first threat pose. And the second one, luckily she didn't strike the poking stick. Obviously there's always the risk of them damaging their fangs on the stick, which is not a good idea. Luckily that has not happened to me yet. And she's safely out of the catch cup, and Andre's going to remove it. And there she's in her beautiful new home. She's really a beautiful specimen, and I hope to make future feeding videos with her, because her feeding response is also rather aggressive. Okay, this is a Popliteria regalis. This was a gift from a friend of mine called Garak. The rest of the tarantulas that you see in this rehousing video have all been donated by him, so I'm very grateful for that. Unfortunately, he's had to scale down because of other commitments, so he was looking for somebody who would give his tarantulas a new home, and obviously I am more than willing to help with that. So Andre's just pulling away all the webbing, and he's going to coax it up. I don't know the sex of this little one yet. It's obviously we'll have to wait for it to molt so that I can sex it accurately. Nice little pokey stance there. Again, sliding in the safety card so that it doesn't fall out. Now, as you can see, Andre makes this look very easy, but he has a lot of experience with this, which is why I asked him to help me with all of the rehousing of my old world tarantulas, because I don't feel comfortable with Nikki doing it, and also I don't want her to get bitten because of our lack of experience. So this is just a much safer option. So we're gonna do the same, try coax it down, and as you'll see, this one was very compliant and went straight down into the enclosure. And I hope you enjoy your new home, little one. Let's see if we can get you a nice little shot from the top. There we go. Okay, again, this is a present from Garak, my Poecilotheria metallica. Originally suspected that it was female, so I named it Leteri, but upon further inspection, we've now changed the name to Jake because he is a mature male. So some advice: the best thing to do is clear space around the hide so that you have more room to work with, which is what Andre is doing right now. The wood is rather narrow, so what Jake has done is he's burrowed down under the wood and created a nice little hide for himself in the substrate where the wood splays out. So Andre is just going to remove all the webbing as well as the water dish, and what he's going to do is try and poke Jake out from underneath the wood. And obviously we're going to have to clear some of the substrate and try and figure out a way to obviously get Jake out. And as you can see, we discovered a live dubia roach that was lucky to escape the fangs of death. And we're just going to work the substrate around, see if we can find a gap in the wood to try and poke Jake out. It looked like there might have been something to get down into here, but yeah, it doesn't look like there's any room to go down there, because he's right in there and under that piece of wood. We can't really even see him. Even with the torch, we couldn't see him at all. We were kind of debating what we were going to do to get him out there safely, not only for his safety but Andre's as well. So we decided to brush more of the substrate away to see if there's any gap whatsoever that we can try and get the poking stick down and try coax him out of his hide. And while Andre was doing this, I noticed a leg was moving under the substrate on this side, and we decided to move the substrate out the way and see if we could get in there. But unfortunately, there's wood as well. So there's that idea out the window. So we decided that we're gonna try and wiggle the wood and see if that would coax him out. But again, that did not work either. So the best thing to remember is that most ranchers tend to hide away when they feel threatened. So this is obviously the natural instinct is to hide. And we obviously don't want to stress them out when we're rehousing them. So we try and do it as less stressful as possible. And as you can see, Andre's trying to see if you can get the positioning of how Jake is positioned, but we couldn't really see underneath there either. So we kind of decided to do something that I would not advise anybody to do. We kind of had no other alternative, and that is the only reason why we decided to do this. Um, the risks in doing this, which is obviously what we're going to do, is pull the entire piece of wood out of the enclosure. The risks involved with this is Jake could have bolted right up the stick and onto Andre, which is not advisable, and Jake could have latched onto the wood, lost his grip and fallen back into the enclosure, which is obviously not the safest thing to do. Fortunately, as you can see, he just remained still and stayed in his substrate. There he is. And now that we've cleared all obstacles, getting him into the cage cup is going to be fairly simple. And up he goes. What Andre's going to do now is he's again going to tilt the catch cup so we can get a nice view of him. Now you can see, even with the camera not focusing, why people rave about these little guys. They're beautiful, their patterns are amazing. And the mature females, their blue is absolutely brilliant in the light. So what I have now done is, after realizing that he is a mature male, I've changed his name to Jake, and we're just going to coax him out of here, which is, as you can see, going to go very smoothly. And he is out. Now, since rehousing him into this enclosure, Jake has made a sperm web, and I have arranged with my friend Danny from My Monsters to do a breeding loan. So hopefully we can get some more of this guy and his offspring into the hobby. This is my Histocrates gigas, juvenile female. As I said earlier, also from Garak. We originally rehoused her into this enclosure, giving her a little bit more deeper substrate, but I think there's not enough ground space because she didn't really burrow down. Cameroon red baboons are fossorial, meaning that they obviously like to dig burrows beneath the surface, and she just wasn't doing that. So Andre and I decided that it would be best to rehouse her. And the reason why Andre is doing this is because I attempted for Nikki to rehouse her from the original enclosure into that one that she's currently in, but she was rather aggressive, which is why we've named her Bee with an Itch, because she was biting the paintbrush and striking and threat postures galore. So I then let Andre rehouse her into this enclosure, and because she wasn't burrowing down, we decided that we're going to rehouse her into the bigger enclosure with a lot more substrate and a bigger source of water. So what he's done now is he's cupping her, and he's going to use a pokey stick to coax her up into the catch cup. As you can see, she's not really being aggressive, which I was very surprised about. She was very chilled. Went up into the catch cup. No hassles, and you'll see Andre's gonna tilt the cup up straight, and when he attempted to open the lid, she plopped down, which was good for us. And there she is, in her new home. As you can see where that piece of wood goes up, I've actually made a starter burrow for her quite deep, about the depth of a hand, so I'm hoping that she will use that. She probably won't, but yeah, I'm hoping that she uses that. It will be awesome feeding footage if I can get her to burrow there. And yeah, I hope she enjoys her new enclosure and her new source of water. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope that it was quite informative. I just want to say Happy New Year to everyone. Thank you so much for all the support last year, and I hope that we have a kick-ass year this year. Just want to say thanks once again to Shannon for helping me put the enclosures together, and Andre for helping me to rehouse the beautiful tarantulas. There will be a link in the description to his channel so you can see what he's up to. And I just want to also say that if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, like and comment below. And hopefully we can grow together this year as well. Just a quick update on the Tarantulas4Charity. There will be a few videos upcoming in this month because we're going to be doing the auction for the tarantulas that were donated at the end of January. So stay tuned guys, enjoy the rest of your week and continue living unstoppable.